Let's start by introducing our team members. First, we have Eugene Martinez. Eugene was born and raised in Oahu, and this is his third year at KCC. He's in the Hospitality and Tourism program and is majoring in hotel management. He decided to take this accounting class because he will soon be in training to be a manager at Buffalo Wild Wings and feels this class will help in the financial sector of management. However, until his training, he currently bartends and waits tables at Buffalo Wild Wings. Next, we have Marissa Chang. Marissa was born and raised in Oahu and is 22 years old. She is currently working full-time and going to school part-time. Last, we have Kayla Ryusaki. Kayla was born and raised on Oahu and is in her second year at KCC. She decided to take this accounting class because she's looking to transfer to Scheidler Business College, and this course is one of the requirements. She currently goes to school full-time and works part-time at a travel agency. Our case is on Lani Ann Miho, a former First Hawaiian Bank employee who worked there for 29 years and was a branch manager and personal banking officer at branches on Oahu and the Big Island. During a 10-year span from 2000 to September 2010, Miho embezzled more than $2.6 million. She did this by creating about 56 accounts under different names, withdrawing money and using proceeds from recently opened accounts to pay balances due on earlier accounts. She used her position at the bank to keep track of the accounts and paid them before they became delinquent. She then converted the funds to her own personal use. During her trial, her defense was that she did it because she has a compulsive personality disorder and was dealing with other mental health issues. She was sentenced to a 6-month prison term and a $7,500 fine on June 4, 2012 by District Judge Michael Seabright. Internal control violations or failures. The internal control establishment of responsibilities failed because First Hawaiian Bank didn't effectively restrict the authorization and access of the bank manager, who was able to use her position to create multiple accounts and fund money through them. Segregation of duties failed because the bank didn't properly segregate the individual tasks in which Miho performed to embezzle money. These tasks include create accounts, monitor accounts, withdrawing money, etc. These duties should be separate. Documentation procedures failed because Miho most likely wasn't required to document or file her proceedings with the money she embezzled, giving the bank no way of keeping track of the money she withdrew or converted. The internal control, independent internal verification failed because since Miho was the bank's branch manager and also a worker, there was no one to monitor her actions since the person in her position would be the one to monitor the employee's actions. Human resource controls failed because under the assumption that Miho didn't take many vacations, she was able to conceal her actions for years because according to human resource controls, vacations deter the likelihood of theft and embezzlement.
Preventing embezzlement at First Hawaiian Bank. The following steps are options First Hawaiian Bank could use to prevent a similar case in the future. These steps would make use of existing employees so no additional cost is needed. As we know, Lani Ann Miho was able to embezzle funds by opening approximately 56 new accounts. With the new accounts, she would pay off the older accounts with the newer recently accounts opened before the older accounts became delinquent. The following steps would eliminate the method of opening and managing new accounts. Step 1. New accounts should be approved by 2 managers along with the customer signature. This will provide an extra layer of authorization for new accounts, therefore making it much harder to open any fake accounts. The step would be when an employee or manager wants to open a new account for a customer, they should have to A. Verify the new account with manager, or if they are a manager, the other manager on duty. Have 2 employee signatures on the account file, one being a manager. C. Customer would also need a signature on the account. Without it, no account should be allowed to be opened. We know that Miho was able to open fake accounts under fake names. By having a customer signature with their ID on file, that proves that there is a customer there and the security for the new account is very much intact. So the possibility of any fake accounts is much lower than it was before. As we stated, this would be no additional cost, just a little more work in the process of opening and verifying new accounts. Step 2. Segregate duties for accounts. This is also an internal control principle that was violated. Now, this step would help in having different employees do different things for the accounts. That way, one person is not doing everything from opening to managing. Now, to avoid one person from opening new accounts and withdrawing money and keeping track of the accounts, First Hawaiian Bank should have one employee handling opening new accounts, a different employee managing those account transactions once opened. No employee should have the ability to open and manage the account. It should be either or. This method would prevent the entire First Hawaiian Bank case. Branch manager or not, Lani and Miho should not have had access to the accounts along with opening the accounts. It is very important to keep track of money, and by following this step, every person would have a different duty when it comes to handling the money for the accounts. She was able to embezzle it because she opened it and managed it and transferred money from new accounts to old accounts. This can all be prevented by having different people run different things for the account. Step 3 is to have no trusted employees. Many embezzlement cases includes the trusted employee. Now, the trusted employee would be a person that everybody likes and would be the last person that they would suspect being involved in an embezzlement scandal. That could be a branch manager or it could be a 30-year veteran. That's very relatively bad because it's that person that figures they can get away with it because they would be the last person under suspicion. With this third step, whether they are liked or not, everyone's work should be reviewed and double checked. This would be safe and add security to the company because everyone's work would be checked no matter how long they've been there or how well liked they are. Another step would be to constantly walk around and check on employees' work during the day. By doing that, employees would know that a manager will be around soon, so the chances of doing an embezzlement scandal is relatively low because they don't want to be at risk of getting caught. Now, it's also important to let your employees know that you will be around shortly to check on them. That way they know that they can't sneak and get away, and that you'll be around soon. Last but not least, step 4. Require vacation time off. First Hawaiian Bank is a relatively big bank here in Hawaii, so they may or may not offer vacation time off. If they do, managers should force it amongst their employees so they can do the following. A. Review the employee's work. B. See what is being done under the employee's name. Review accounts open, account transaction under the name, and C. You can check for suspicious activity. Now, this would also be for branch management. If Lani and Miho was on vacation, the other manager on duty would have had an opportunity to review her work. Now, when he was reviewing her work, he would have found out about all the accounts she opened, and it would have drew a red flag. Now, this would have been helpful in catching her a little bit earlier than they did for her case. Now, for an employee who refuses to take time off, which Miho may or may not have done, a red flag should be triggered to that employee, and therefore even be enforced even more. There's a reason why that employee did not want to take a vacation. Everybody loves a vacation. The person doesn't want to, it's because they don't want to go away from the company where something can be investigated. This is the last step, and these 4 steps would successfully help reduce the risk of future embezzlement cases, which is similar to the one Lani and Miho went through.